This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to a new season of Adventures in Compliance. This season, I'm going to take up the second set of 12 short stories published in the Strand magazine in 1893 and 1894, which were collected in the book The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes was published in the United Kingdom by G. Loons and in the U.S. by Harper's and Brothers. It's the second collection featuring the consulted detective Sherlock Holmes. The Final Problem was published in this series, and that remains one of the top Sherlock Holmes stories of all time, as Doyle was determined to kill off Sherlock Holmes, his most famous character, due to not simply its popularity, but how Holmes in many ways had taken over the life of Doyle the writer. I hope you'll take this opportunity to not simply listen to this podcast series, but also to reread the stories in the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. Over the next 12 episodes, we're going to be taking a deep dive into each of the stories of Sherlock Holmes found in the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. But in this episode, we're going to introduce the entire series, talk a little bit about some of the key themes throughout the series, and of course list the short stories. I hope you will join me for this adventure in compliance in our review of the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. The first series was over. The 12 stories that encompassed the adventures of Sherlock Holmes had been published, and Conan Doyle was now one of the most successful, most admired writers in all of England. So successful that when Greenbow Smith approached him about writing 12 more stories, Doyle seriously considered refusing. Perhaps the tales, once he started writing them, were easy enough, but the plotting, the design, and the times that Holmes could have better devoted to other, more weightier projects in his mind, all of these added up to an onerous, and perhaps even repetitive routine. He sought an escape route. The £1,000 his agent demanded from the Strand magazine was one that no one, particularly Doyle, thought would be met. Yet, the publisher, presiding over the greatest circulation rise he could have ever dreamed of, barely batted an eyelash. So Conan Doyle gritted his teeth, settled down to create the next 12 adventures, which became the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. Over the next 12 episodes, we will take a look at the adventure of Silver Blaze, the adventure of the cardboard box, the adventure of the yellow face, the adventure of the stockbroker's clerk, the adventure of the Gloria Scott, the adventure of the Musgrave ritual, the adventure of the Reigate Squire, the adventure of the Crooked Man, the adventure of the resident patient, the adventure of the Greek interpreter, the adventure of the naval treaty, and we end with the Final Problem. Doyle determined that these would be the last Holmes stories and intended to kill off the character Sherlock Holmes in the Final Problem. Reader demand stimulated him to write another Holmes novel in 1901 and 1902, The Hound of the Baskervilles, set before the Final Problem. The next year, a new series was run in the Strand, which is entitled, collectively, The Return of Sherlock Holmes, and begins with the aftermath of the Final Problem, in which it revealed that Sherlock Holmes actually survived his fall at Reichenbach Falls. In many ways, the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes stands as a testament to the enduring appeal of one of literature's most iconic detectives, the brilliant Sherlock Holmes and his ever-loyal friend and chronicler, Dr. Watson. Through this collection, readers are treated to a fascinating glimpse into the mind of Sherlock Holmes as he solves baffling mysteries and unravels the intricacies of human behavior. So what are some of the key themes that we're going to talk about? Well, of course, there's the art of deduction. At the heart of the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes lies Holmes' unparalleled deductive reasoning. His ability to observe the minutest details, draw connections, and solve complex puzzles is nothing short of extraordinary. Whether it's deciphering coded messages, as in the Musgrave ritual, or unraveling a seemingly impossible murder found in the resident patient, Holmes' deductive prowess leaves readers in awe and admiration. Complex characters. Doyle's storytelling extends beyond the brilliant detective himself. John Watson, Holmes' loyal friend and chronicler, provides readers with a relatable and endearing perspective. Watson's steadfast friendship and unwavering support for Holmes serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of camaraderie and loyalty in the face of diversity. Moreover, the collection of the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes introduces readers to a wide range of intriguing characters, from cunning criminals to sympathetic victims. Each character is meticulously crafted and contributes to the depth and richness of the stories. One of the strengths of the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes is its diversity of settings and themes. Doyle takes readers from the bustling streets of London to the idyllic English countryside, demonstrating his ability to create vivid and immersive environments. Each story explores the different aspects of human nature, from jealousy and revenge to love and obsession. The variety keeps the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes fresh and engaging. Within the pages of the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, we encounter some of Holmes' most iconic cases. Obviously, the final problem features Holmes' fateful showdown with his arch-nemesis, Professor Moriarty, at Reichenbach Falls, a moment that has become legendary in the detective genre. Other memorable cases include the affair of the Greek interpreter, the naval treaty, and the aforementioned resident patient, each presenting its own unique challenge for Holmes to conquer. The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes has left an indelible mark on literature and popular culture. Sherlock Holmes has become an enduring symbol of deductive reasoning and the power of logic. Countless adaptations in both literature and on screen continue to breathe life into this most beloved character. The enduring appeal of Holmes is a testament to the timeliness of Conan Doyle's storytelling. In summary, the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes is a literary treasure that continues to captivate readers with its brilliant detective work, memorable characters, captivating mysteries. Doyle's ability to craft intricate plots and showcase the brilliance of Holmes has solidified this collection's place in the pantheon of great detective fiction. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the world of Sherlock Holmes, the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes is a must-read that will transfer you to a world of intrigue, deduction, and timeless storytelling. I hope you will join me in this adventure, this exploration, this labor of love in reviewing the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. I hope you will join me in our next episode where we take up the adventures of Silver Blaze. If you've enjoyed this episode, I hope you'll subscribe, rate, and review to Adventures in Compliance, wherever great podcasts are listened to, or perhaps even on YouTube. I also hope that you will take this opportunity to reread some of the great Conan Doyle short stories found in the collected works, the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. If you'd like to take a deep dive into a particular short story, I'd love to visit with you. So please give me a shout at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. Adventures in Compliance is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.